All righty, you guys. Welcome back to another episode 5 to be exact, of Sports Rants with Abby and friends. I'm Abby. We got Guy. We got Dayo. Dayo, I feel like I haven't seen you in like weeks.
Yeah, seriously.
What have you been up to? How are ya?
Just keeping up with these Eagles trades and
I
I'm
know it's been crazy. I didn't get to ask you, how do you feel about the Eagles schedule? I know it seems like so long ago that they were released, but I was like dying to hear your reaction. And of course, I missed that week.
I'm ready. I think we got it. I think we got it, but I got to see that Chiefs game. That's going to be very interesting.
And then, Guy, how are you this week? I see you rocking Miami this
The
week.
you.
That's right. The U.
Something new every week with you, I swear. What was it last week? Was it the Mets?
No, it was the New Jersey Devils.
The Devils.
Oh, that is right. That is right. So, well, hope you guys are having a good week, because we are probably going to get into someone who's not having a good week. And that, of course, is Tom Thibodeau. Of course, he was relieved of his duties by the New York Knicks. So, Dio, it seems like a lot of Knicks fans are very all over the place, and their reactions seem to be one way or the other way, and there's no in between. So I want to get your immediate reactions as to what do you think about the Knicks firing Thibodeau?
Well, what I think about it is I was actually talking about this at work today. Um I would have fired him too. Honestly, even though he got them, to the Eastern Conference, he dropped the ball. I mean, the Knicks have a team to actually make it, and I mean, they look like they could win the championship, and he just dropped the ball. I mean, everybody's looking to blame Cat. They're blaming, Bronson, whatever. But I just feel like it was the right call because I don't know what happened to him. He really disappeared. Like his coaching disappeared, and yeah, I feel like he dropped it, and I feel like to me, it was the right call.
Guy, are you on board with Dio?
Nah, I'm on the other side actually.
See, divided amongst ourselves as well. Following suit.
Well, I think that there was some things that he could have improved on, but I think the players just didn't execute at the end of the day. They're the ones that are on the floor. Um, you know, you made these trades to get these certain guys like Cat and Bridges to try to put you over the top. Um, and it just didn't happen. It didn't. I don't think it really was that much of a coaching thing as much as Cat being weak defensively, uh, making stupid fouls, getting in early foul trouble. Not playing aggressive and playing down low, playing like a traditional big man. Um, Bridges not living up to his contract and his heavy price tag. They spent a lot for him, to try to change to be that second or third guy, complimentary piece, this wing stopper that he's supposed to be in.
Mhm.
Where was that? Thibodeau can only do so much. I think they lacked a certain toughness to really play his style of ball. And I understand the change because maybe they do need a new philosophy or coaching style with that group, but I don't think he was really the problem at the end of the day. I think it was roster construction.
Well, and we got Zandy in there talking about Cat's defense. So shout out to Zandy being in the chat, all of you guys in the chat as well. Like and subscribe, as we say every week. But I wouldn't say I don't know if this is going to be a good move on my end, but I understand it 100% completely. I mean, it seems like this was their best chance to win this year, and it completely fell apart. And that game one should have never happened. That should not have gone into overtime, and I think that just absolutely killed the momentum. I get everything he's done for the Knicks in the last 5 seasons. I mean, he's made the postseason 4 out of the 5 seasons, 2 back-to-back 50-win seasons. And I think why I understand it is if you're going to bring back this core roster, it seems like it's just not meshing with his style of play. And unfortunately, these guys are going to be here. They gave up, 5 first-round picks for Bridges? Crazy. And a former, obviously I'm a Suns fan, but former Suns player over there. And I was like, that is crazy. And even from watching him with the Suns, I thought that he was way overpriced for that. But yeah, just a lot of fans, from what I've been reading, it seems like they're happy that he changed the culture. He made New York Knicks basketball relevant again, and they appreciate him for that. But I just see everybody just completely divided. And it's even on ESPN, everyone's divided. Everyone was like, one more year. But again, their window is closing, and so you got to get on it kind of sooner than later. You know what I mean? So I understand the jump. Now, kind of going into kind of who we would like to maybe see if you were a Knicks fan as the next head coach. What are some names you're maybe looking at, Guy? I'll go ahead and start with you. If you are a Knicks fan, who do you think is the best person to replace him? And honestly, I needed to mention this as well. The culture of the NBA. I mean, the Suns have had 4 head coaches in the last 4 years. It's like, no, if you're not winning, goodbye. And so that's why I also understand it as well. That's just the culture of the way that basketball is nowadays. So, Guy, I'll let you go ahead and answer. If you're a Knicks fan, who are you looking at?
You know what? This is contingent on them actually getting rid of Cat, because I think that's what they need to do. Honestly, to bring back New York basketball, if I'm a Knicks fan, I want Mark Jackson as my head coach. Mark Jackson. He's been blackballed from the NBA. You know what I'm saying? He's the one that changed the Warriors culture. Steve Kerr came in with a already made culture and team. All he had to do was just play his part, manage the board. He didn't really need to do that much. Mark Jackson is from New York. He understands what it takes to win, the toughness that he brings. It's going to be kind of like Thibodeau, but it's going to be a different voice. And being that he did play in the league, at a very high level, I think he would have instant credibility as soon as he walks in the room. You might take a chance on a college coach. I know they kind of want Jay Wright, the former Villanova coach, and that would be just total selling out to, Brunson and friends over there in New York. But I think Mark Jackson is the guy because he is New York basketball. And if you're a fan, I think that's the pick with their heart. That's who they want. And that's to bring that toughness that they used to have, what they're known for, because right now it's lacking. I think that's the culture change to even put it to another level.
I'm glad you pointed out that voice factor of it, because that's what a lot of people have been saying too. It's not the roster, it's just the voice of the team, and they need something stronger at this point. Now, I'll be honest, I don't think Jay Wright is going to go back to coaching. From my understanding. And I listen to Mike Francesa a lot. He says he's got some inside scoop, and he's like, no, I'm too busy with the television deals. It's taken off and everything like that. So he seems pretty set there. Now, Dayo, where are you on this? Who would you like, if you're a Knicks fan, who would you like to see?
I'm going to bow down to Guy here, because I've been preaching that since the moment they lost. I will go for Mark Jackson. I literally been saying that in the barbershop. I'm like, dude, this guy built Golden State. I mean, he literally drafted everybody that was in there, right? He built the team, and then Guy said, Steve Kerr just came in and looked like Superman, like a hero. He just knew how to move the pieces. That's it. But Mark Jackson really did build that team. And I feel like that's the best coach. I've literally been saying this, and it's crazy. Guy said it, and I was like, yes. So I will go with Mark Jackson.
And that I'm not disagreeing with you guys completely. That would obviously be a good fit. And obviously you guys saying everything you said right now, advocating for him, I can see all of that. You know what I mean? Personally, at the end of the day, I don't think any of us are Knicks fans. So at the end of the day, we really don't care. But I'm actually on a different boat than you, and that's because I'm leaning more towards this way simply because obviously I don't want to get into it today. I know I'm a Suns fan, but they hired a new head coach, obviously Jordan Ott. It's like the Michigan State Suns now at this point, but that's a topic for a different day. But I'm more on the Johnny Bryant train. And that's because of I think it's someone who can handle the culture that comes with New York and the media and everything like that. His history with New York, obviously worked with the team before. I feel like he's been extremely successful with every single organization that he has been with. And Guy, you mentioned a change of voice. This is a younger guy. You know what I mean? I think it'll be a fresher voice, young guy, fresh voice, new ideas. I think Thibodeau has been criticized at times for being too stubborn and sticking to one way of basketball. And we saw that in the playoffs with the lack of adjustments. So obviously plenty of names being thrown around. We saw Bobby Hurley in here as well. So, all right, we got a question in the chat here. Does Steve Kerr leave Golden State? He did sign with the Knicks for a day. Steph is almost done. I'm going to let you two take it first.
No, I don't think he leaves Golden State. Not until Steph leaves. They're joined at the hip. Once Steph retires, then I think he'll leave, but not yet.
Yeah, and I'm right there. I'm right there with you. Good question, TJ. We appreciate it. All right. So moving into the other and most important basketball games we got going on. That, of course, is the NBA Finals, which start tomorrow. I can tell you I'm super excited because once NBA goes away, this like summertime gets real quiet until NFL starts. So we got Thunder and Pacers. As of right now, the Pacers are plus 500. And I was reading it earlier that the New York Jets actually have a better chance to make the playoffs than the Pacers do to win the series. So New York Jets finally winning at something. But Guy, I'll go ahead and start with you. What are your overall thoughts on the matchup? Kind of what is your prediction? How do you see these games going?
Honestly, I feel like OKC had the most difficult games and matchup. They made it look easy. It's just how their team is just built perfectly, right? They have a nice bench. Their starters are amazing. So I feel like OKC is gonna take it. The Pacers are gonna give them a run for their money. I just feel like the Pacers, I don't know what happened there. They just played like tight basketball at the end. And I don't know if they play like that against OKC. I mean, OKC is gonna chew them up and spit them out. Honestly, they're younger, they're faster. If you see, I mean, it's I don't know. I like OKC, and at what point do we say everybody in the United States want to see OKC? So I'm going with OKC. I just feel like they're younger, they're faster, and they had a harder playoff matchups than anybody else. I mean, they took down some big teams. So that's my
Now,
take.
how many games do you see it going to? Do you see it going the full length? I've seen everything from OKC in 5, 6, or 7.
Honestly, what I want, I mean, I hope it goes like 6 or 7 just so we get something exciting.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm hoping.
Now, Guy, what are your overall opinions about this matchup? What are you looking forward to?
I mean, stylistically, I think they're pretty similar, except for the fact that OKC's defense is very good. They're probably gonna give Halliburton a hard time, So if you could stop the engine, you're gonna be a lot more successful than, let's say, the Knicks were or the other teams that the Pacers played. OKC is deep. OKC is well coached. They pretty much could shoot, defend. They do everything pretty well. Like they have very little weaknesses, really, that I've seen. And they could play fast. So, the Pacers, that's their superpower, right? Playing fast. OKC does it too, and they do it better. So it's like, it's a tough matchup for Indiana. I salute them though for making the finals. Nobody really gave them a shot, but I'm hoping it goes 6 games. I say OKC is 6 out of respect for the Pacers. I could see it going 5 also, but OKC definitely is the prohibitive favorite with good reason, and they have the MVP, and I think that's the matchup that I'm looking most forward to is the SGA versus Halliburton matchup. But I think SGA is going to take him.
I mean, on paper, OKC is the better team. They've been the best team in the NBA all season long for a very good reason. Obviously, incredible defense, actually like a historic defense from what I was reading some stats earlier today. Now, I'm obviously hoping for 7 games because, again, there's that whole dead period after the NBA Finals is over where it's just very quiet. Of course, we got other things going on like the College World Series. We got hockey and some of that other stuff until NFL, but becomes a little bit quiet. Now, Halliburton and Siakam, they're going to need to put their A game. Everyone's going to need to play perfect on the Pacers if they want a shot to even win against OKC. The Pacers, I'm sure they have a chip on their shoulder. A lot of people did not expect them to be there, and they've been hot since the playoffs started. So I give my kudos to them. But I think some of the key things here, again, Halliburton's going to have to show up. Siakam's going to have to show up. They cannot have one of those quiet games. I also think the OKC is going to have to force some turnovers. I actually learned today that when they have 10 or more steals, they are 43-4. So, and it looks like right now the Pacers have the 3rd fewest turnovers in the NBA. So, like I said, the Pacers will have to play absolutely perfect to have a shot. Again, I would like, if the Pacers are going to win, I honestly think it will take the full 7 games. It will take the entire series. But the odds are not looking good. Again, I wouldn't be mad if either team won a first championship for both. Both teams are very deserving to be there. But obviously OKC with the MVP and just being the best team in the NBA, they're obviously heavily favored, again, for a very good reason. So very excited. They'll start tomorrow. So Guy, I want to go back real quick to the Knicks because you had a little rant about someone in the Knicks organization, and let's say the people want to hear you. Go off.
All right. So I think a person that is being let off the hook, at least to the media, is the general manager, Leon Rose, for the New York Knicks. That's who my rant is on. If we're going to fire the coach for his lack of adjustments or his stubbornness, then we have to hold accountable the man who brought all these guys together that did not fit. You try to make a puzzle come together and the pieces just didn't connect. Paying a very high price for Bridges, okay, it's justified if you win a championship, right? They didn't do that. You got Karl Anthony Towns, a big guy that likes to play outside, right? That works, if you have the right pieces around him. Now, the reason why I'm saying that he started off doing well by getting the Brunson contract at a bargain, then little by little, his desperation, I think, to try to make it to that next step kind of cost him in the long run. If he was a little bit patient, maybe they could have got Luka Doncic instead of paying all that price for Bridges. I think they just try to make Brunson comfortable with more of his friends. His father is an assistant coach. There's a lot of nepotism that is in that organization. And I don't know how serious they are about winning at the end of the day by that roster construction, because I know what it takes to win in New York, right? Knowing those 90s Knicks teams were in your face, defense, they never quit. I saw the Knicks kind of go through the motions. I'm not going to say that they quit, but the body language was bad. You know, like they would have never been able to get away with that in the past, you know, but because of a little bit of mild success, people think the Knicks made it. They did not make it. Excellence has to be sustained over time. You had a coach that gave you 2 back-to-back 50-win seasons, deep playoff runs. You haven't had that since what, the year 2000? Like, come on, man. Like, Tom Thibodeau has that credibility and cachet. Leon Rose, you brought Brunson in, good job. But the Bridges deal handicapped your growth for the next 4 or 5 seasons. And Cat, you might be trading him this offseason. So I think they lack direction right now. And they better be I know he's the guy that's in charge of bringing the next head coach in. He better make a well-informed one, or you might be setting back your franchise for the next couple years. There's a lot of rising powers coming in the NBA. So that Knicks window, ooh, I don't know if it's shut, but it's just about shut.
Now, let me ask you a question, because in my opinion, it felt like with Thibodeau, they were like moving the goalposts for him at different points. It was like, okay, make the playoffs. And then it was like, oh, Eastern Conference final. But then it's like, win it. And I feel like it was just kind of going along and it wasn't like set from the beginning. So let me ask you, do you think going into the playoffs, or at what point do you think they plan to fire him?
It might have been during the season, you know, with because he does have flaws as a coach. He doesn't play his bench a lot, you know. Taxing your players, your starting 5, playing 40 minutes a game, like in October, November, where do you really need to do that? You know, like in the long run now in the playoffs, you're going to start feeling that wear and tear of early in the season, that overusage. But I mean, the dude has made New York relevant and a winner and respectable. Like, you know what I'm saying? People are now saying, you know, New York, you know, they have something there, but I don't know if that was the right move. You know, they had no tradition of winning. So like if they make move the goalposts for him, that's only because there was no excellence sustained already. There was no standard. He is setting that standard. And now that he's gone, that next coach has to take the torch and try to get to the next level. But I don't know if he could do that with that team as currently constructed.
Dayo, do you agree with Guy here?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. No, I definitely see your point, but I just want to know at what point they had really planned to do this. It seemed like they planned to do it a long time ago, and so it's making me think a little bit that they have someone in mind that they know that is available, and that's why I threw out Johnny Bryant, because it was the most like obvious option. He was a finalist for the Suns head coaching job as well, and so that's why I think they made the move so quickly after. But we got some people in the chat. We got Guy. We got one person that was disagreeing with you in the chat. And see, Star Spangled Awesome was in the chat as well. I think they already know who's the next head coach. I think they already know they're hiring Johnny Bryant, which I talked about earlier, which I definitely am on board with that. They'll do their due diligence, but, you know, it's like one of those in-house hires. You know what I mean? It's like we have to put out the app, but we're not going to interview anybody. We have to leave it up for a certain period of time, but we're not only going to look at one person. Now, Guy, you got your rant out of the way. Dayo, it wouldn't be Sports Rants with Abby and Friends if you, of course, didn't pop off. So let's hear it.
My rant today is on the Philadelphia Eagles defense. We traded Bryce Huff to the 49ers. We lost Hargrave to the 49ers, you know, a couple of years ago. It's like we're giving this team so many defensive players that are good. And we lost so many. We paid Zach Bond, I mean, a crazy amount, I think, for a linebacker. I mean, he made one play in the Super Bowl. That's it. We lost C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Man, we lost so many because we're trying to pay like Milton Williams. We lost him because we're trying to pay like Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis and everybody else. And it's like we're losing the main pieces that actually made the defense that it was. And I'm just pissed because it's like we're letting all the great guys that made the big plays go for these players that actually made one play during the Super Bowl or playoff. And it's like, pissed.
Star Spangled Awesome said Huff was trash for the Eagles last year, which I'm on board with. I'm grateful because Huff was obviously with the Jets.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he did absolutely nothing for y'all. Congratulations.
Listen, he played his role.
Well, now it's a joke now that, Robert Saleh is back in San Francisco. And so it's like the San Francisco Jets. Everyone go over there now. Seriously. They just all follow him. Speaking of paying and money, I forgot to mention, Guy, Thibodeau is still owed $30 million by the Knicks. So
he's still winning.
Yep, exactly. At the end of the I think Robert Saleh is still getting paid for the Jets, so I don't know why I'm laughing either. Aaron Rodgers is getting paid from the Jets. Like,
I think the Suns are still paying like 3 coaches too right now.
Oh yeah.
I think they're still paying Monty Williams at this point.
Jeez.
Dayo, what'd you think of Saquon being on the cover?
Listen, I was super happy, but I was kind of sad because I'm like, is he gonna get the Madden curse now? Is he gonna get hurt? It's like,
I hope not.
We seen this, like Christian McCaffrey, everybody else is like getting hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah, that's fire. Like he got the, reverse jump, whatever, the hurdle. But it's like, he's gonna get hurt. Like we need him.
I know. I saw him reenact it, and they had a whole video, and I'm like,
yeah,
just do that on the spot. It's crazy. Aaron Rodgers is such a jerk. I'm like, that's what Star Spangled. I forgot what their last half of their little thing is in the chat, but there we go. Star Spangled Awesome. Aaron Rodgers is such a jerk. He's a weird guy. I'll just say that, but he's a jerk that will run his way to the Hall of Fame. He's a jerk that's an MVP. Yeah. He's a jerk that's still being paid by the New York Jets. So, all right. Lastly, but not least, my little rant is not really a rant. I just want to shout out Arizona baseball. I'm a U of A alum, and they absolutely crushed it in the regionals. They were up in the Eugene regional. I happened to be in Oregon this weekend. So I can't believe I was so close and didn't get to see them. Absolutely crushed the regional. They are now headed to the super regionals. Obviously, out of there, will determine if they're on their way to Omaha. So they will face UNC next, I believe. So heading to North Carolina there. So very excited for them. They actually are right now one of the hottest teams in the NCAA baseball right now. So super excited. And then I watch college softball. I think it needs to get more credit, but we got Texas Tech and Texas that are playing today. I don't know if any of you saw that game against Texas Tech and Oklahoma. Oklahoma, obviously a 4-time winner, and it was great to see them finally lose. I loved it. And it was a good game. I mean, she tied it up with one last strike, hit a home run. It was 2-2, and then Texas Tech scored in the next inning right away. They got their opportunity, and man, oh man, it was just super exciting. It's just so hard. I don't think anyone understands how hard it is to score in softball because everything's so inward, you know what I mean? So everything just moves pretty quickly. You bobble a ball, you're safe at first if that happens. So yeah, shout out to Arizona baseball. Obviously, shout out to women's softball. But short episode for you guys today. Obviously, again, quiet time in sports, just a little bit. I mean, we've got other little things going on. I could have talked about the Suns. I don't want to because it's not going to make a difference. I don't care right now who their head coach is. What are you doing? What is Beal doing? What are we doing with him? Durant's over here. We're trying to trade him to just anyone at this point. The organization is just a dumpster fire. And then I was reading Booker had a say in approving the hire. And I'm like, oh my God, he's getting older as we get too. As he ages, he's getting older too, and I'm like, he who knows how much longer he's going to be there. He might be so damn frustrated. So there's more problems that they have besides the head coach. So yay, you sealed the deal, but it's crazy how they were in the NBA finals not too long ago, and it seems like forever ago with how garbage they have played. So, oh, hi, Johnny boy.
That's
Johnny
right.
boy says, "Let's go Mets."
That's right.
Sorry, Johnny boy. You know I'm a Diamondbacks fan. Wait, Guy, I forgot to tell you because you went on a rant about the Rockies last week.
Yes.
They won against Miami.
Look, this is why our rants are important. They could change the world. The Rockies won 3 in a row. They swept the Marlins. You know, maybe they heard. Maybe that inspired them.
They
you know?
watched this.
They watched
They're
this.
40 in the building right now.
Go Rockies.
Comeback right now. I don't know if you guys saw a video of like the attendance, but it was like empty. I didn't even think I saw anything. I really want to know how much like tickets were like actually going for.
5,000 people at that game.
That is, that's embarrassing.
We got high school games with more attendance.
But I am happy for the Rockies, so I was like, woo, pulling strong. Still,
they got 12 wins now.
Mm-hmm. Who knows?
Watch out! Watch out!
There was a caption that said tens of people. My single banner also put "Go Dodgers" and no, thank you. Don, I'm not a Dodgers fan in here. We are a Dodger hater group in here. I forget, Dayo, do you have a baseball team?
I don't. I just sit here and watch games.
That's what I thought. I was like, you only have really like NFL and then like
you
follow some colleges, but otherwise.
But I do like Francisco Lindor, so.
I do too.
Let's go.
And I will say, like for the Dodgers, I like Mookie Betts. I follow Ohtani too. I'm not a hater, you know what I mean? I can't stand them, and that's why when the D-backs beat them and swept them 2 years ago, I was all in my cousin's face. Let me have this opportunity, this one moment. All right, round robin real quick. Any final thoughts, Guy? We're gonna go with you first.
Yeah. I think, if it is a quiet week like it is, I say give the Stanley Cup Finals a chance. It's 2 great teams going up against each other, Florida Panthers, Edmonton Oilers. It's high-level hockey. There's always intensity and a lot of scoring. At least in this series, it should be very entertaining. So if you're not into baseball or your team already played, Stanley Cup is going on right now, game 1, and it's probably going to be better than the finals in the NBA. So there's your alternative, everybody.
I'm not going to lie. When I'm at the gym, I'll watch. Playoff hockey is awesome. I don't watch it during the season, but playoff time, it's awesome. And the fans are all into it too. So at the gym, I'm on the treadmill. I'm watching that. If I don't, a lot of times they have baseball on. I'm like, it's too long. You know what I mean? I want something that there's more movement across the board. You know what I mean? So Dayo, any last final thoughts?
Listen, I'm just going to say, I'm excited that Florida is actually playing in the Stanley Cup. It's crazy to even say that out loud. But go Panthers.
And then I'm just going to leave you all with bear down Arizona, go U of A. Very happy for the boys. So make sure to like and subscribe, please. You can follow all of our social media as well. Johnny boy, we'll answer a question real quick. Which New York football team will have the better season? We do not count the Bills as a New York team. Speaking of that last part, there was a video going around if people consider the Bills a New York football team. So really quickly, do you consider the Bills a New York football team?
No.
Dayo. Guys, no.
Yeah,
Dayo.
guys, just say no. I mean, yeah, I would consider them. Why not?
New York is the city.
I agree. Now,
They're damn near in Canada.
You don't even play in the city.
I get so sick of that joke. I'm like, you guys do play in New Jersey and MetLife. And I'm like, yes, you can't come up with anything else. Sorry, there's no space. Where are you gonna build? Where are you gonna build at? There's no space. And I'm like, either way, it's not the New Jersey Jets. It's not the New Jersey Giants. It's still New York. When you think of New York and the teams, I'm sorry, anyone's first reaction is not going to be the Bills.
Yeah.
No one's going to say the Buffalo Bills. You're either going to say Giants or Jets. Let's be for real.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of Johnny Boy's question, who's going to have the better record? Giants or Jets? Dayo, go ahead.
I feel like the Giants. Because the Jets are like, I just see them crashing and burning. Nothing new.
Gene says the city of Buffalo sucks too. I have never been.
No,
There is
he's
a
right.
comedian that I follow that he has beef with the city of Buffalo. So I believe you guys at this point. Guy, what do you think? Better season, Jets, Giants.
I think the Giants are gonna have a better season.
I'm getting off. Bye, you guys. Yeah, with both of you.
They're gonna win one more game than the Jets.
Yeah, it's just be one game. That's it.
It's Sports Rants with Abby and friends. It's just about to be Sports Rants with Abby at this point with you two. Honestly, I'm gonna say the Jets because I think that I'm trying not to get sucked into it. I'm trying not to. But these I told you, we talked about it. The OTA plays and all of that. I'm starting to feel like they could do something.
Those videos been working on you? Is that what you're saying?
I know, whatever little voodoo that they're doing. And the only reason I'm mainly thinking about it is I just think there's gonna be one game. Johnny Boy, Gene, Soda is starting to get on fuego, and Fields has looked good. Well, Fields has looked good right now because there's no pressure in his face. But we all know he has legs to run, though. That's not, you can't deny that either. I just think the back half of our schedule looks better. You know what I mean? And I mean, both teams are kind of like in shambles, honestly. But I think it'll come down to literally winning by one or so more game. I'll give it that. But I mean, I wasn't ever gonna pick the Giants. I can't. Do you not know how many Jets?
Your heart won't let you do it.
Literally, I cannot. I hate the Giants, and of course the Patriots are like, I hate them both like equally. I think me and Gene one time had this argument. I think Gene, if I'm correct, you not like, I forget if he dislikes the Giants more than the Patriots. I'm the other way around though, but I know it's a little bit surprising, huh? Soto is a billionaire bum.
You can't be a bum being a billionaire. You can't be a bum being a billionaire. You know, every day is a win when you're making that much money. But let him adjust to the new surroundings. You know, that's a heavy pressure to be.
What new surroundings?
The new clubhouse, the new guys, learning everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, now you didn't have that contract last year. Now you do. Now you have that responsibility and weight.
Johnny Boy, I hate the Dolphins more.
Yeah, Gene says he hates the Giants more. And then you got Johnny Boy that hates the Dolphins more.
Oh, God, that's your enemy right there.
Yeah, we was just bonding over the Mets, and now he just said that about the Dolphins. This is crazy. Nah, man. But, you know, Jets-Dolphins games are always interesting. I'll give them that. You know,
well, it's Monday Night Football, the first one, week 4. I was like, why? I was watching a video. It's like, I could really use a Thursday Night Football trash game right now. And it said, like, the Cleveland Browns versus, I forgot who else they said, the Titans or something like that, or whatever team. You know what I mean?
Careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
I know. The only thing I'm happy with Miami is that it's just a bigger gap in between the times that we face each other. The last 2 seasons, it had been kind of within like a month or like 5 weeks. So I don't like, though, how Buffalo's the last game. Not that it's going to like make a difference, really. You know what I mean? But I don't any other game, honestly. And it's weird because we play Buffalo week 2 and then week 18. That's like too big of a gap. Get those divisional ones out the way, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, you guys. Well, another good episode 5. Like and subscribe. Thank you all for joining us in the chat. Always a good time talking with you, Guy, and of course you, Dayo. I love having a full house on our episode today. So like and subscribe. Also follow our own personal social media pages as well. You can see mine right there. But yeah, take care. Have a good night. Bye.